All right.
Bingada, bagada, boogada. Then I hit 0, right? To transfer? Yes, there we go. All right. It is
Oh, good.
7 p.m.
Sneaky.
on a
We're only going to
Tuesday.
miss Liquid versus Secret. No one cares about that.
Yeah, no one cares. It's the important shit we're talking about. EG, man. EG. Anyway, it is 7 o'clock and it is a Tuesday, which means it is time for Fanfiction Contempt Theater, hosted by SneakyDevil, joined today by Max, Force, and Atin, which means I actually have to update the top bar to include Max.
Yeah, and in fact, I think this is the first time in 1 month exactly since I've been on.
Indeed. Indeed it is.
Also, occasionally guest starring from the background as the Peanut Gallery might be the Lord of the Nose Hair.
Indeed.
I only expect you all will hear him if there's extreme rage.
Okay, anyway.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Nose Hair is over at Atin's house.
Oh, okay. He's still bumming off of you, really?
I mean, no, he came back.
I mean, he is a Jew.
He left and came back, so it's less bumming and more friendship.
No, it's still bumming.
It's still bumming.
I already can tell.
If anyone has noticed, we have increase in audio quality, at least on my end, and now that I actually have a working mic, so that peaking audio you guys all have no doubt enjoyed from me is likely going to be gone forever. Unless, you know, something happens again. But anyway, as someone has pointed out to me, I should probably mention, do not harass the people we are mentioning in these stories.
I was gonna say, we thought you people were intelligent enough for that.
But you know, just
that we didn't have to say that. But apparently, we do need to say that. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Wait, have
Now,
people
if you
been
go-
doing that?
No, it's something I want to preempt because I know the internet.
I feel like that was something we preempted months back.
Yeah, and then I forgot
but
to
it's
keep
always
doing
good to
it.
put it out there again. We're saying it right now. Don't harass them. Don't go chasing them. Don't send them angry PMs. If you send them a mess, if you leave a review on their thing,
Please let it be
fine.
constructive. Yes.
But be useful.
Yeah.
While we are here for comedic purposes, you may have noticed we also try to be helpful.
Try is the key word there. Anyway,
in the
so
way that a forest fire is sometimes helpful to what's left behind.
I was about to say I'm not going to comment on that.
Nobody asked you to.
Today's story we're going to be starting off with is a Mass Effect Destiny crossover. This was brought about due to our promise of finding some good Mass Effect crossovers for both Devil Spidey and various other peoples that may or may not have been in the chat. So you all can
Okay.
thank him for that existence.
He's the reason we're reading this nonsense.
Anyway, so everyone have it queued up?
Yep.
All right, let's start. The Light Beyond by Saint Reaper 101. Earth has been decimated, its lands infested with hive, taken and fallen. The last remnant of the light grows brighter at the defeat of orcs. A baron rebels against his Kell and house to reclaim what his race once had, and an object in deep space is discovered by Dead Orbit. Discovering a new galaxy full of races that may help bring hope to all under the banner of the Traveler. So you two both play Destiny. So if you want to explain the summary to me and anyone else out there.
Okay,
I'll let
so
Matt handle it.
timeline-wise, this is taking place after the, correct me if I'm wrong here, Max, but the first major raid, right? Oh, no, wait, no, this is Oryx? No, this is what, the third?
Patton, what part of I'm gonna let you handle this? If I'm saying I'm gonna let someone else handle it, it's because I know next to nothing. All I did in Destiny was pew pew bang bang.
Okay. I'm trying to remember Oryx. Okay,
Sometimes the glorious call of the whale, but that sadly only lasted like an hour.
I mean, we still did that occasionally. Okay. Oh, wait, okay. Wait, this... if this is what I think they're doing, okay, so wait a minute, they're saying Oryx is dead, but then the House's wolves is just happening?
I guess, apparently, or something.
But that's not how that went in order at all.
No, Oryx was the final piece before the iron.
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I'm saying. Oryx was yeah.
It was the House of Wolves. They got their ass kicked, and then Oryx came in and got his ass kicked, and then the iron stuff happened, and people were angry because it was kind of an anticlimactic DLC after taking King.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're saying Oryx is defeated, which means that raid's happened. But then they're having the events of the House of Wolves, which doesn't make any sense.
So who's the Traveler?
Nobody knows.
The Traveler
But the
appears
Traveler,
to be a big ass moon.
Oh, is it that
Oh,
sphere thing that I've seen?
yes,
Okay.
that sits over Earth.
The fuck off sphere, got it.
Dead Orbit, there's like 3, I guess, guilds in the city. Dead Orbit is one of them.
Okay. So a guild of humans.
Well, not just humans. Humans, not fallen. What are the blue people called?
Taken?
No.
The Hive, the Taken, the Fallen, the Exos, the humans.
Right, but the blue ones, the blue race you could be.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Isn't that the Exos, or am I crazy?
No. The Exos are the robots.
Is it? No, that doesn't look right.
All right. Well, it's probably not going to matter too much.
Yeah.
Here we go. We have races. We have Awoken, Exo, and Human are the
Awoken,
playable.
that's it. Awoken.
Yes, it is the. God, I had it noticed before. Just replace the bright blue irises with red, and I could have played as fucking Thrawn.
Oh yeah, no, you could totally be a Chiss. That was my first thought when I saw them. I'm like, cool, I get to be Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Anyway.
I didn't care though, because Exos.
Yeah.
Things
Anyway,
are cool.
now here's one problem with this: discovering a new galaxy full of races that may help bring hope to all into the band of the Traveler. My problem with this is, regardless of whether you're in Mass Effect or Destiny, there's not a new galaxy. There are no new galaxies. This is all known galaxies. They both take place in Earth, or in the Milky Way.
Oh, right.
Deep space is discovered. Yeah, I see the problem. Like discovering a new galaxy, considering the travel capabilities shown in Destiny, it'd be safer to go with a new solar system. That would be
Well,
far more
what they're trying to
believable
do
than
is they're trying to link
galaxy.
in they're trying to link in Mass Effect as they're saying Mass Effect is a separate galaxy.
Yeah, but
Right, but that presents its own massive list of problems.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
and
massive
if
list of
you were-
problems with that is that the Milky Way galaxy specifically is the one that has the Reapers around it.
Well, not just that, but it's also the one, like, the problem with that is, sure, I get that you're only going to have one group of humans that the Citadel races can encounter, but they were all still in the Milky Way.
also, like,
Yeah.
let's even assume that the author said fuck it and decided to just split them into 2 completely separate galaxies, which goes against both lores.
Yeah.
I hope he's introducing this new galaxy by way of someone from Mass Effect suddenly popping in to the Sol system.
Oh,
that's
probably
That's
not.
the only possible way that can
Like,
work.
that would make far more sense thanks due to the travel capabilities that I'm pretty sure I don't think the Traveler can do intergalactic stuff, can it?
I don't think so.
We'll find out in
might-
Destiny 4!
No, it might have used to have been able to, but it either lost or gave up a lot of its power to protect Earth and empower the Guardians.
Okay, it looks like the Traveler doesn't actually mention, it just mentions it arrived in the solar system.
Isley says it would have been better if they said Demission first? Demission then?
Dimension?
Oh, dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I see where he's coming from with that, yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Alternate reality
dimension
sort of
wise
thing,
it
yeah.
could.
I could have rolled with that.
I mean, we definitely go somewhere else when we fight Oryx. Or at least Oryx's ghost.
Okay. Alright. I'm trying to track stuff down. I'm doing wiki hopping, and unfortunately I'm only as fast as I can read in my computer, my internet connection.
Yeah.
Let's check this.
No problem, Isley. Alright, well, while you guys figure that out, I'll keep reading.
Okay.
A cold wind.
Why are they including the fall of Malak now?
A cold wind whispered over the last safe city of Earth. Its denizens felt a chill.
Denizens.
No. Felt a chill and withdrew to a place of warmth. In the tower of the city, humans awoken. Why is humans the only one undercased? Lowercased, undercased. My brain is... Hold on.
Your brain sounds like mine feels at the moment.
Alright, I got a can. That should keep me going.
Sneaky's drinking already.
Okay, where's the location?
And EXO all gathered in their groups and shared conversations of many sorts. Banshee 44 was speaking to several new arrivals about the benefits and disadvantages of Omelan and Hake weapons. The Cryptarch, looking over new data with interest, was content slowly absorbing the detailed information recently made available thanks to several invasive guardians. I wouldn't exactly use invasive as a description.
Yeah.
Like...
unless it's like a parasite or something.
Well, you would use invasive when you're describing, like, basically an object or an action, not people.
Yeah.
I would have gone, like, determined, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Down a flight of stairs stood Eris Morn. Leaning on a wall, she gazed into her green orb. Of all the things she knew she should be feeling at this moment, be it elation, euphoria, and a renewed sense of purpose with the defeat of orcs, Eris could not help but feel worry. Well, she knew that orcs was dead, so far as to say any hive was dead. Don't use parentheses, we've gone over this before. If you have to include some sort of commentation in there, use quotes.
Yeah.
Not quotes.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some water.
Do that. She knew that Orcs' sister Savathun and... What the fucking goddamn it, these names?
Hang on, where? Sabathon and
Zivurath were still lurking in the blackness of space. She felt it in her cold heart. If orcs could hear Crota's death scream, surely the other gods of the hive could hear Orcs' demise. She let out an exaggerated sigh and attempted to let her mind wander. Welcome to Destiny. Yeah, I suppose.
It's not a bad story. It just took them a year to actually make it good and worth buying.
I would say, just comment, because, I mean, so far there's not much to comment on. I wouldn't use exaggerated sigh, unless it's with other people. I would prolonged sigh, maybe, if she's doing it. You know what I mean, Max?
Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
Shax and his Warframe Archite 9940 were busy selling high-grade weaponry and armor to those guardians who earned their rewards. Beyond them stood some of the most important people in the city. Ikora Ray, Commander Z, and Cade 6 all stood fixed on the most pressing issue they face today. Jalal stood before them, datapad in hand. It's just as I said. The evidence is irrefutable. You cannot ignore us this time. Ikora was picking up something more than anger in his voice. She noted a hint of fear seep through the mask he put over his speech. There is something out there beyond the edge of our solar system. An object was found. If you do not want to investigate, Dead Orbit will. Whatever it may be, it will either help us, or at the very least, not end up in the hands of our enemies. Jalal argued. Commander Z almost couldn't find an excuse. Oh yeah, scroll down, fella. Commander Z almost couldn't find an excuse to stop the
Arik, I guess.
Arik?
Also, his name is Zavala. Do you want to try saying that, or just stick to Z?
I'll probably stick to C.
Okay.
But with a nod from Ikora, who always seemed to know what he was thinking, he made a gambit. He made his gambit. With Orcs' defeat, the first thing we should do is focusing on reclaiming Earth. First, we remove the hive and fallen houses from our planet, then our moon, and eventually the rest of the system. We need to gain ground now more than ever. While we did get a plethora of new guardians, they are untrained,
I
undisciplined.
think that's plethora, by the way, on the pronunciation. I think. Fuck the English language.
I mean, I think that that's just down to locality at that point.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're a filthy Yank, so what do you know about pronunciation?
I'm
Says
from
the
New
Southerner
Jersey.
with slang.
I'm from New Jersey. Everything we say is the way you're supposed to say it. You're all just doing it wrong.
Oh, it is plethora. Huh. By the way, real quick, I hate phonics sometimes because they never properly teach you how those pronunciations actually worked in school.
They do not indeed.
Like, I think it was like a 1 week thing we did in elementary school when I was in first grade, and never again.
Uh-huh.
I learned more about how to diagram sentences than I did actually pronouncing words.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. That is the American education system at its finest, I suppose.
Xenon is apparently in the chat according to Twitch's.
Yeah, no, I just saw that. I was like, oh wow, Xenon's just kind of sneaky breaky.
Oh, he's not burst out of anyone's chest. Is he feeling okay?
Indeed.
By now he'd have broken a wall, at the very
several.
least.
They aren't an immediate replacement for those we lost in the fight against Orcs. Upon hearing this, Cade 6 looked down and sighed. He remembered every hunter that came to him and offered themselves to combat this new threat, and he remembered every hunter that did not return, because they got bored and stopped playing this game. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, now I'm just imagining they go to get the bodies, but it's like, that's weird. What? None of the bodies actually have marks on them. For all intents and purposes, it looks like their hearts just failed.
Died of an aneurysm.
It's like they take them all, go to bury them. They start hearing pounding on whatever they do.
Oh
for
my
that.
god,
Like,
Max, that's terrible. I heard there was a new DLC.
The NPC is just like, what? How are you alive? What's a DLC?
Anyway. Now that we're done with that dark joke.
Yeah.
Cade
Anyways, we've
6 felt a pain he thought would never fully leave him. The
No.
Aurark did not want to hear any of this. If you refuse to leave this dead rock with and a broken god, we will sort this out internally.
Maybe that's supposed to be with Broken God. That and might have just snuck its way in there when they were typing.
I guess. One of our ships went missing out there. Aresia and her crew are lost out there, Commander, and may I remind you, we do not abandon our own, Jalal hissed, with an unsaid threat.
I'm not sure I see the unsaid threat right now. It just sounds like this guy's being a bit of a dick.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like he's being a bitch. Little bitch baby.
Do you feel better?
I do, a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, I queued up this story thinking it was going to be hot fucking garbage, and so far, while the plot, I have no idea about the plot. I have no fucking clue about any of this plot.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, no real spelling errors besides like that little instance, and no real grammatical errors making their
Yeah, although I'm not sure about Cade having this sudden moment of angst.
I wouldn't say
I'm
angst.
sorry about that extended absence. I was co-opted into moving a television.
I wouldn't say angst. I would say that's more of like melancholy.
Should have just made Nosehair do it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or at
I
least
did.
had him hop on
He
mic
helped.
to cover
Oh,
for
okay.
No, he
Oh,
helped
so
move
there
it.
was no one to hop on mic at all. Okay.
No.
No, indeed, okay.
We had to move.
Oh, please don't tell me you're that out of breath.
It's all
trying to
your
be
fault!
dramatic. I'm trying to be dramatic. I'm not actually that out of breath. I'm trying to make people sympathize, but now he's
No one
ruined it.
sympathizes with you ever.
Yeah. Anyway, it was one of those old, like, it was one of those old tube TVs.
Oh, one of the big ass CRTs?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, those are always a treat to move.
We just put it out on the curb with a sign that says, "It works, please take it away."
It's gone by now.
No, it's not. I wish. So what did I miss?
So far the story has no grammatical or real spelling problems besides a misplaced word or two.
Super minor.
As far as I can tell, the characters are all while they may or may not be cardboard cutouts, they're all distinct from each other, which is more than can be said of some stories.
I was gonna say, that, sadly, is not the author's fault.
Yeah, I figured as much.
That is Destiny's fault.
He doesn't quite know exactly how to dialogue, and... Because he's like, oh, there's an implied threat in this statement. Except there was no implied threat in the statement, it's just like... Is he saying it threateningly? Because that's still not a threat. Because of that, I think I'm going to read a couple
Most
more
he's doing is hissing.
paragraphs. Huh?
Yeah, the most the guy is doing is hissing.
Yeah. Because of that, I'm going to read a couple more paragraphs and then probably move on to another story. Because, I mean, there's nothing really here to comment on besides plot, and I really don't feel like reading another, like, 5k words just to get to the plot that we can criticize. No? Any words about that?
No.
I mean...
I've got a quick question here. Why is this even an argument between the two of them here? Because I would think Dead Orbit isn't actually beholden to the Vanguards
They're not.
in any
I
way.
wouldn't assume
No.
so, because they're a separate group.
So why sit there and be like, you stick with your... Go find your person if you're so worried about them, jackass. The longer you sit there making fun of them, the longer, you know, well, the less time they might have if they're still alive.
Indeed,
Yeah, okay,
indeed.
so... Well, no, I mean, to be fair, I'm sure that Dead Orbit would rather... Because here's the thing. If Dead Orbit can get it as a mission from the Vanguard,
Yeah.
that increases the number of Guardians who will be interested in the mission by 2/3. Because if it's just a Dead Orbit mission, only Dead Orbit Guardians will get it. But if it's a Vanguard mission...
Yeah, but that's just it, though. Like, he approaches the Vanguard, says, here, I have evidence that you can't ignore, but if you don't go out here, we'll go into it. It's like, really?
That's not, yeah. I'm so fortunate to be late. Hi, Devil Spidey! Welcome to this non-plot hell!
Like, Atin, this comes down to a matter of everyone knows that Zavala's biggest goal is getting Earth back into some semblance of decent.
I mean, good.
And he's sure as hell not going to waste resources on a possible wild goose chase, except for maybe 2 or 3 other hunters. Maybe. Jalal should know this, and still has the gall to spit in his face about this.
This is a Mass Effect Destiny crossover, as if you could not tell by the discussion
This leads me to believe perhaps the author isn't as aware of the characters as they should be, and that's really bad because I know more about these characters with probably a quarter of the playtime the author might have.
The one problem we're finding in this story is the spelling and grammar is fine. It's just there's just no dialogue or plot.
Yeah. It's like Destiny launch day.
It's like he's a writer for BioWare.
I remember when that used to be a good thing.
So, not going to complain about the crossover because space and stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean...
That's fair enough.
I mean, yeah.
Destiny has no plot.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem we're stumbling upon.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you know what? Let's just move on. Let's get a good story we can fucking mock. Okay, let's see. What's this one? Oh yes! This one!
Oh boy. Can't wait.
So, again, a majority of the stories I'm currently bringing up are due to last Friday, people asking about Warhammer Mass Effect crossovers. And I thought, well, if we're going through Mass Effect, we might as well go through the normal Mass Effect. Oh, yes, Devil Spidey. If I ever get excited about a story, it's either really good or really bad.
Yeah. It's usually the last one.
Alright, I've linked it out if you want to follow along. Now, this is a pure Mass Effect story. I say pure because...
I can't, because I'm not recording.
You can still listen to the stream.
What have I done? Yes, Isley. You have brought this upon us as well. Why... Updated. My only complaints, chapter length. Leans towards AU is incorrect. Is solidly AU is correct. I'm very puzzled by the idea that Asari have to have dicks as a reoccurring theme in fanfiction.
What?
Huh?
Okay, so apparently, according to the spoiler alert of these reviews... Pure virgin. Religious ones. According to these reviews, the mysterious child of Thessia, the twin of Liara, the greatest discovery ever for the Asari, is an Asari with a dick.
A baby
dick
boy
girl.
Asari is... Hang on,
We're about to read a story about dick girls.
A baby boy Asari is a goog idea.
Yes, it is goog. Very goog.
Alright, since it's always fun seeing if these misspellings actually exist, I'm gonna go check this.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Alright, so you guys ready for some, are you guys ready for some dick girl?
Fuck you, Australia. What?
God damn it, Australia!
Goog is an egg.
What?
What?
It's
is a
also a
goog?
noun.
Fucking go to sleep, Australia! You're still drunk!
Oh, British dictionary definitions for goog. An egg. Also, you can call someone a goog, because that means they're a drunk.
No. Fuck.
Great. That's gonna be my new word. That's my new word.
Be gone, you foul goog!
Yeah. Let Nosehair know he's upgraded to Goog. In the dictionary.
Congratulations, you're now a goog.
They're not going to call you a drunk anymore.
Yes, I did in fact say dick girl. It's your favorite fetish, Spidey.
No.
Get the fuck over here.
No. You can just get in recording and ask him very nicely to put you in.
I'm in voice.
Alright, let me drop you in then.
Tell him to put me in.
You are in, you fucking retard. I can fucking hear you.
I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to destroy your soul, and I'm going to stuff you down the deepest pits of Tartarus. Also, hi, how you doing?
User nose hair has been banned.
I can't even hear him.
Yeah, he's super quiet.
Wow. The differences between mic qualities is astounding.
I know, right?
I have you guys in like triple stereo right now. It's very disorienting.
I dropped him back into general chat.
Yeah.
Is there a way for us to put him in recording in like listen only mode?
Yes, I
if
can
he
server
muted
mute
his
him.
mic, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we can. Well, we can also just server mute him if we need to.
Yeah, too. I think I'll just do that.
I'd rather have Atin's audio over Nosehairs.
Yeah,
My
that's what
fetish
you're
is
saying, just mute
birds.
him.
Your fetish is burbs. Well, I have some good news for you. We're not covering anything with birds in it.
Okay, so he's muted. Good.
Okay, yep. This is exactly what I was talking about.
No. Ow.
And that's why he's not allowed to be here.
I was muted.
No, he is muted.
Yeah,
He
but
put
the
his headphones
feedback,
in.
because he's not wearing
put his
fucking headphones like a fucking
He put his
retard.
headphones in. He put his headphones in.
God fucking damn it, you piece of shit. You goog.
Now you have to mute him.
You unmuted me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Problem
I like
solved.
that the echo sounded like it started
You
having
unmuted
a fucking seizure.
Why would it even matter if an Asari had a dick? They don't reproduce... Don't they reproduce by psychic bullshit? Yes, they do in fact reproduce by psychic bullshit, and the vagina on the Asari is only used for popping out the baby. That is something that I was always curious about, is why there exactly to be a bit pleasure center there if all their sexual reproduction takes place in the mind, but you know, blame that on BioWare being fucking creepy.
Seems like a decent idea.
It's humanity's greatest question. Can I fuck the thing?
Can you not say that so loudly with my parents above?
That's wow.
Humanity's greatest question.
Just immediately jump to that.
Yeah, we all know where this
fair.
goog is going. Anyway. As I was saying, child of Thessia. How different would it be if Liara had a twin? And if said twin was the greatest discovery for the Asari since the Citadel?
You mean a strap-on. That's what this amounts to.
For the first time in her life, Athena was truly speechless. She was unable to form any coherent thoughts. Hell, she couldn't even move at this point. Of all her years of experience, at this moment it seemed like everything was failing her. Everything she knew was cast out onto the void upon this new discovery, and even the Asari feared the possibility it brought.
I'm just turning you down. You got a little loud there.
Oh, I know. Oh boy, more viewers just in time for the Dick Girl.
Why would you say
Oh, well, we've immediately lost them.
And they're all gone!
Why do you do this?
Someone make him a
Never been
fucking
able to
priest or
watch
something.
Self-sabotage in action.
Congrats, Zach. Now you can see it in action with Sneaky.
How to lose viewers with 2 words, indeed.
There's actually more than one ways to lose viewers. Say that, I didn't say traps are gay.
Traps are in fact gay.
They are. I wasn't disputing this.
Anyway.
Where is our baby? I said Athena originally because I just didn't feel like trying to pronounce this, so I'm just gonna keep going with Athena.
No one would.
Because that's a T-H-Y-T-A, unless someone wants to try and pronounce that.
Hold on, let me consult.
Athena?
Hold on, let me consult the Human to Covenant Dictionary.
Okay, Athena then. Just hope Miranda.
I can't split my jaw 4 ways, so I can't pronounce it.
Unfortunate, isn't it? I guess we'll just have to get some cosmetic surgery.
Athena? Okay, hang on.
Just hope Miranda is this. Miranda is the not really sole reason like Mass Effect, which is also the name of my first crush in real life. I think the E is silent. Yeah, none of us know actually how to pronounce this name, so Blue Bitch.
I'm working on it.
I'm gonna call her Blue Bitch from now on. Said a voice.
YouTube, can you help me?
Drowsily. I want to see her. Blue Bitch didn't hear the voice because she was still trying to process what was going on. In her hands was her daughter, her pride and joy, but that wasn't what left her so paralyzed. Okay, Athena?
It's Athena, apparently. I found it in the game.
Her and Benezia. Her and Benezia. I guess that's proper, yeah. Still sounds wrong. We're expecting this child for months now. The origin of her fear was a whole different monster. What are you saying, Talia? Is there something wrong? The person in question, an Asari doctor, looked at Athena with a distressed gaze. I'm afraid that it's a bit more complicated than that. The Asari sighed. Athena could see how shaken the doctor was, and immediately her fear grew. What is it, Talia? Just tell me. Athena said, sounding more desperate than she wanted to. Well, as you know, there was a complication. We had to take Lady Benezia to the OR. Talia said, as she You know, I actually have a question about this. So two Asari mindfuck each other and somehow exchange DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they both get pregnant?
I guess because only one of them wants to?
No, it's because the Blizzard devs aren't perverted enough.
Blizzard devs, really.
The Blizzard devs. The Blizzard devs that infiltrated BioWare to write this plot.
It was... No, you know what? He's onto something. It was all part of the method to sabotage their competition.
Indeed. It was Blizzard's plan all along. It was corporate sabotage. That's the only way to explain Mass Effect 3.
And Andromeda.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as Mass Effect Andromeda.
No, Mass Effect Andromeda was because Canada.
Just let it go.
I don't think he's ever gonna let it go. I don't know that he's
Sneaky,
capable.
You're ruining the magic. There was never any magic to ruin.
I mean, I don't know. Freaky space mind sex is kind of magic.
I mean, yeah, it is magic.
Are you going to disagree with the purest form of love?
Do you guys want me to throw something at him?
Yes.
What have you got that you can throw at him that's on hand?
Can of Coke, a cup, a mouse, an empty can of Coke, a plastic...
What, do you not keep the titanium sword right by your desk?
Oh, come on, get that titanium sword out there.
He keeps it on his bedroom table.
Why would you leave it in the basement?
No, I'm in the basement.
Oh, well, and you're not carrying it between rooms with you? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, male Asari. Oh, oh boy, it's also red!
What is it, a shiny Gyarados?
Oh my god.
It's a shiny Asari! Congratulations!
This is only a 1 in 100,000 chance!
Oh,
that was good.
Quick, get the Master Ball.
Would you like to name it?
Congratulations, you have named your new shiny Asari into dumb scaly
Polygon. What the hell?
Oh no.
I'm like, I want to look at the races in
Oh,
Mass
that was good for a
Effect.
chuckle.
And like the fourth result, Mass Effect's most bangable aliens ranked. Polygon.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Fucking okay.
That's one way to go on it.
Oh my god, Polygon,
Yeah,
what is
I
wrong
guess.
with you?
Anyway, so
Wait, why is the Thresher Mall? Why is that it?
wait, why is Thresher Mall listed on Bangable Aliens?
It's listed at number 19 out of 24, no less.
What?
What's worse than banging an acid-spewing Thresher Mall?
The Vorcha, the Collectors, the Keepers,
Literally
the
every-
Batarians, and the Yogg.
Really? The Batarians are ranked lower than something that will literally burn your dick off.
Okay, wait. I need to see. What are the top
I
three?
mean,
Okay, to be fair, it's not just your dick.
I mean,
Okay.
for people with daddy issues, it
Oh
might
my
be nice
God.
to get hurt
Stop.
once in a while,
Stop.
especially for
Polygon,
journalists,
stop. Your netcode apparently sucks. Okay. Number 3 is the Quarian, 2 is the Turians, and 1 is the Drell?
That list is so incredibly wrong.
That
because
list is so
Quarians
insane.
aren't
I
number
bet their
one.
waifus are trash.
You know what?
Oh, you
I'm
know what?
just
It's
gonna
fate.
stick this in
It's fate.
shit posts. Hopefully it doesn't knock the Ruby picture out of the way, but wow.
Guys,
I know it would burn your dick off, Devil Spidey, because its saliva is acidic and it only has one hole. So unless you're making a new hole to stick your dick into...
Anyway,
Okay, now I want that story. And it's gotta be a crack story. Shepard wooing a Thresher Mall.
No.
obviously you have to be full renegade.
Indeed.
Oh my god. That. Oh.
You have to wine and dine it first.
Why? Damn it! You know what? I now hate this story on principle alone of wanting to look at the different races in Mass Effect, bringing up a Polygon article.
Come on,
Just
let's
for
get on
that
with this
alone,
trash.
this story is
All
permanently
right, so
on my
let's finish
memory.
this up and move on. Athena looked back towards Taylor.
Oh.
So tell me, this complication was exactly. Taylor pinched the bridge of her nose and then let out an exasperated sigh. Well, I think it would be easier to show you, Taylor said ominously.
No, I'm pretty sure saying it would be easier. It would take less effort. It'd
What do you
probably
mean
be
by
less
that?
shock.
But Taylor was already, okay, you're already doing dialogue in the same paragraph, and I already hate you for that. On top of me hating you for this even existing in the first place.
Oh yeah, no. Why would you? That's like 101, guys. English 101. Don't put dialogue in the god same. It's not even
But
English.
Taylor was already gone, giving the follow signal.
We've had
The
the rant
follow
many times.
signal. To Athea. Atheta? How do you pronounce her name again?
Athena.
Athena. Who was just catching up to the fast-walking Asari. What the hell, Taylor? Didn't you hear me? Taylor frowned. Sorry, Athena. It's just... And then the door opened. You need to see this. Athena looked at Taylor, and she was surprised to see, instead of a long gaze of dread or sorrow, it was replaced with pure excitement. Now, Athena was confused, but as she walked into the room over to the eager Asari doctor in tow, she saw at least a dozen doctors and nurses surrounding something, whispering things back and forth to each other. As she walked closer to the circle, she heard some of the mini conversations. I can't believe that this Dr. Zavara is really a red skin color. Amazing. How is it this possible? I have no idea. Athena had enough of all this and started pushing through the crowd of Asari. As she pushed aside a young Asari nurse, she finally saw what was at the center of the commotion. There was an older Asari nurse who was running her Omni-tool over the bed. Athena walked over to the bed and grabbed the nurse's shoulder. What the hell is going on? The nurse looked at Athena and then smiled. See for yourself. The nurse said, pointing to the bed. Athena did just that and looked into the bed to see the face of a naked red baby, Asari, staring right back at her. But it wasn't the red skin that left Athena in a stupor. Although
Okay, then,
that
boy.
was
Your
unusual.
word, I believe in you.
I'm choking on mucus. Although that was unusual in itself. It's supposed to be in of itself. But no, it was what the nurse said next that almost floored her. Yup, it's the first ever male Asari, and he's your son. XXXXXXXXXX.
Please stop. Okay, A, that's not how a doctor would deliver that kind of news.
No, it is very much not. Well-
Second of all, they probably wouldn't have even let them in there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, let's be real, they'd be like, this thing goes into quarantine, we need to do test after test after
Purge
test.
Isley here asking the key questions. Is it gonna grow up to be a Mary Sue or a Gary Sue? Good question, Isley. Let's see. Chapter 3, maybe?
No, don't do more of this.
Oh, holy shit, that's a block of text. Yep, nope, fuck this, I'm out.
What about blocks of text?
There's a
three's
block of
apparently
text,
giant
so,
block of
fuck that shit, I'm out.
Which can't not any worse than our blocks of text. Well,
As in there's no
probably poorly
punctuation or
written
anything?
compared to ours, but I mean,
Anyway.
Alright, so this is a Fallout Ruby crossover.
well, this should either be super interesting or super
It's
cringy.
trash. It's trash. They're always trash.
You know, I really need to quit
Well,
sitting
fuck
in on
this
these
shit,
streams
I'm out.
because I keep getting these. It's like,
Shit, I'm
I bet
out.
I could write
Open
this
tab.
better, and it's like, no, if I do that, I commit, and then I make more people angry when I don't update. Because Crow would be hilarious in New Vegas.
It'd be mildly amusing, yeah.
I mean, you say, he wouldn't be any different from 90% of the people in New Vegas.
Oh no, he'd still have his aura. That's the great part.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
talking
just
just taking
accidentally-
Crow and transplanting him.
I just accidentally closed all the tabs.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Going by the
Oh, no, then
tagline,
don't
this is
do it.
shit. Yup. Get ready
up.
for some fucking awful garbage.
Well, at least they're honest about it.
You know, I think what bothers me is I'm pretty sure he just took the Courier and the Lone Wanderer, both which are nicknames, and just combined them.
Well, you say, no, see, they're not just nicknames, though. They are, in fact, very, very distinct things. Because you see, the way it goes is...
Wait, was it Fallout 3 who was the Lone Wanderer?
Yes.
No, that's,
Yes. No, that was the Lone Wanderer. No, Fallout 1 was the Vault Dweller. Fallout
No,
2...
I'm
Was
aware.
Chosen
and
One, yeah.
I'm just trying
Fallout
to figure out why
3 was
he
the
Lone
list.
Wanderer.
Titles.
Fallout New Vegas was Courier. And, unfortunately, Fallout 4 was the Sole Survivor, which the community has abbreviated to the SS. And so I get really confused sometimes when I see people referring to the SS blankety blank, and I'm just like,
You know,
Yeah.
I think I
oh,
would've been
right,
happier with
Fallout, not
concerned
Nazis.
parent. I think I would have been. I think I would have preferred the title of concerned parent in that case.
Yeah, I actually
no.
don't think the Sole Survivor nickname, I don't think is actually in Fallout 4 itself. I believe that's actually a community nickname.
No, I think that's what the devs call him as well.
Oh, yeah, it was what the devs were calling him, but... Yeah.
Which, by the way, is complete and utter crock because, you know, your kid also survives.
Yeah.
So that's disingenuous to call your character the sole survivor when his kid is still alive.
Good foresight there, Isley! Yes, they are in fact going to have John bang female Ren.
What?
What? No.
Alright, so let's get this summary off
No.
the road.
Sneaky, how could you? He skipped over this thing months ago. Oh, God.
What has he done now?
He's
I hate you,
dredged up the
Sneaky.
darkest of heresies.
I hate you so much right now.
Why?
The darkest heresy?
I'm pretty sure this popped up in when we were searching through fan fictions back in April, which is when this was published, and we skipped over it.
That's entirely possible.
I mean, I queued this back when it only had like one chapter.
Oh boy.
In April. Yeah. The Lone Courier. John's going to beacon again. This time, it's different. He's a slightly genetically altered, radioactive wastelander. Read as he does battle with the supernatural and the hormonal. John times harem. Mostly Ruby and Pyrrha. Femren, Faunus Ruby, watch out, Remnant. You've bitten off more than you may be able to chew with John.
Remove.
No, I think you've bitten off more than you can chew off, sir.
Cease. Cease. Cease immediately. Cease.
That's sneaky.
Cease.
Oh God, Sneaky just skipped the first chapter. It is all just notes that the author put in down the line.
I mean, we can always just read through this, just skim through it and insult it. Let's see.
No, I mean, chapter 1 is literally just author notes.
That's what I'm saying.
Putting some backstory.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying we can rip apart him. Damn it, Sneaky, where do you keep finding these things? Well, you see, I go on this website called fanfiction.net, and then I lower my standards.
But seriously, why don't we read chapter 2, which is, I guess, chapter 1 first?
Oh yeah, no, I have no problem with that. I'm just gonna read through the background, because apparently he's not even gonna bother giving us the actual story. He's just gonna give us the background notes so we can get right into Ruby Crossing. Over.
I can get,
Someone should replace Sneaky, seriously. Ha!
Okay.
No one would willingly subject themselves to this day in and day out.
Okay, so Jean was the Lone Wanderer and then became Courier 6 years later. No, a few years later. He saved a ghoul named Wade Wilson, who taught him. Anyone want to take a guess based on that name alone?
Wade Wilson?
Sarcasm?
Gunfu and sword fighting. Oh, Wade apparently is the reason John has Crusade Moors in this world. The sword has otherworldly powers. Oh my god.
The sword has otherworldly powers, and it's picky about who can use it. The sword likes John.
Sword.
Had a powerful soul and remained true to his beliefs. This is a very chill version of Christianity. Christianity's pretty fucking chill at this point.
Okay, hold on. What is
good karma?
Okay, wait.
Turns out Wade was the sword's chosen guardian. John's got a sweet sword that doesn't require maintenance.
With this new job coming up that I should be getting and these fanfiction streams, I'm glad I decided to order shot glasses from an Evo merchandise store, because I might have to start using them.
Max, no. Don't become Ricky. Don't obtain a drinking solution.
Oh, that's what I was telling Atin last session.
I'm just gonna be using it for shots of NyQuil to knock myself out halfway through the streams.
Just thump.
You are like a little baby. You should use a mug for your drinking.
No, I was telling Atin, by the end of the year, we're all going to be turning into alcoholics. It's... Don't worry, Wade Wilson's not in Fallout.
No, he's not.
Never has been. Never will be.
I think that would have definitely improved the experience.
Oh, without a doubt.
But, oh my god. Okay, so
anyway,
it
blah blah blah.
Never requires maintenance. Cut through
almost anything when it glows gold. Gave his special a multiplier of 10 when equipped.
Completely negate or ramp up radiate. Why would Sean ever want radiation to ramp up? What is wrong with you?
Ghoul perk?
Heal a ghoul.
Oh my god, it has the wind scar and the backlash wave, both from Inuyasha.
I still don't see why people like that series.
I don't know why people like that series either. John's only problem was that he rarely ever got to use them, as he could only use the wind scar once per day, And Backlash Wave could only be used as a counter to an attack. What the fuck is he? A fucking low-level sorcerer?
Well, at this point, it seems like it, because the sword is also capable of boosting different skills for different multipliers. John has apparently also dealt with aliens, a demonic book with demons, and a talking tree.
Okay, to be fair, that's all in Fallout 3.
The sword was forged in heaven. It was supposed to be for an archangel. I really don't think a human should be able to use this.
No, as a matter of fact, they would not be able to.
Like, the one time I remember any kind of sword being mentioned in a host angel's hand, it was on fire.
It was on fire, and it was massive.
Ash.
And it was guarding the Garden of Eden.
Like, that is the only weapon I can remember being mentioned in the Bible when it comes to the heavenly host.
Isley says, oh boy, another case of a story inspired by something where it's actually a complete ripoff. Pretty much. Okay, anyway, so, blah blah blah, empathy link between him and the weapon. He knew all of its history once he touched it. John's problem with the sword that only boosts his special stats for a limited time of 5 minutes. You can only choose what to boost. It would be 20 times higher than the normal 10 multiplier. So let me get this straight. So holding this sword, say you have a strength of 8. Holding this sword gives you 80 strength. Well, you can then special boost it to go 20 times higher than that, so you would have 1,600 strength. Why are you both? Why are all of you moving on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? God damn it! You fucking shit posters. Yeah, this sword basically makes you go Super Saiyan, because at 10 strength, that's like... that's an extra 100% damage, I think it is, on Fallout 4, at least.
Well, not just that. It's more than a Super Saiyan, for crying out loud. Like, Sneaky, if we go by the D&D scale, which
well, I mean,
Special is pretty close to.
I mean, well, the special system is supposed to denote that 10 is the strongest human. The strongest, like 10 is the maximum you can get for being a human. Which is why in Fallout New Vegas, you're able to go over 10 by getting cybernetic implants.
Okay, so he still goes to the thing with as Courier 6, you know, shot in the head, left dead, blah blah blah. Although this time he had the added incentive of the guy was, you know, mean enough to just steal John's Crochet Amours, which, again, forged in heaven. If it's in John's hand, that means that John is meant for it, and you already said the sword is picky.
Yeah.
Why did it not immediately burn these fucks to ash the moment they tried to touch it?
Because this person.
The other thing I want to comment on before we keep going is, so as I was saying before, 10 is maximum human strength, which I mean, you know, if it multiplies, if holding the sword multiplies it by 10, that means he's as strong as 10 humans. Actually, the fate scale would be pretty good for this. Actually. Is anyone familiar with the fate scale?
No.
A little bit. You've explained it to me in the past.
Okay, so the people who Type Moon made Fate, and they gave the system everyone a ranking from E to A in terms of value.
Yeah.
And let's see. The parameters from E to A. 1 is considered to be normal. 10 is, you know, times 10. So the average human would be a 1. They would have an E minus rank of 1. for, strength, intelligence, etc. Heroes, have 10 times, 40 times, 50 times the normal human strength.
Okay, so apparently Jean started in the world of Fallout and teleported to Remnant with a...
Yeah. So, to give you an idea, the highest you can go in the Fate universe, in terms of any statistic, is 200 times a normal human. And that is literally, for example, in the strength category, it is literally enough to crack continents with your blows.
Yeah, isn't there also an EX rating for when they actually
EX is higher than that, yeah.
Yeah, like that's when it's like
John's strength
can't measure.
If he, in this example, John had a strength of 8, John's strength, when multiplied using his sword, would be 1,600. Which is 8 times stronger than something that could crack continents.
Well, yes, my name is...
Literally should not be possible to have anything happen to him. Also one-shotting everyone. But anyway.
He's one-shot a skeleton that has drunk calcium.
He can even one-shot skeletons.
This is impossible.
Anyway,
yeah, so, blah, 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 blah. He was put off by the weapon. Remember dealing with aliens, blah, blah, blah. He had no idea what he was meant for. Wait, let's see, capture, oh yeah. On his way towards Nevada, he was captured and used for genetic experimentation.
Oh god, why?
Somehow, instead of turning into a super mutant, he became a super soldier! The FEV worked properly on him.
No, it didn't. The FEV, it made super mutants, and that's what they wanted. At least once they got further along the super mutant path, that was exactly what they wanted.
I mean, no, yeah. Originally, they were not trying to get super mutants; they were trying to get super soldiers. But then they were like, "Well, hey, super mutants are like better than super soldiers."
Yeah, and once they got to the Nightkin, I mean, even before they got to the Nightkin, they were starting to produce completely, perfectly serviceable super mutants.
Yeah,
that wouldn't die. They wouldn't die of old age. They didn't need to eat.
I'll say this much. This is probably the first time in a while I've seen an author hand wave this kind of stuff away with actual divine intervention.
Literally divine intervention. Nah, guys. Trust me, he was taken by surprise and his sword was taken, even though it's a picky sword that vaporizes people. They still took it. Anyway, okay, so he got experimented on, became a super soldier. Strong enough to wrestle an alpha Deathclaw. Take a riot shotgun point blank to the chest. Hear someone's heartbeat. Low-level night vision, and he could catch a 50 cal bullet coming from behind him.
So let me get this straight. He's got all of this and still managed to get himself shot in the head.
Yeah, even with the ability to literally become God. Endurance 10, strength 10, agility 10, perception 10.
Congratulations, you are the equivalent of a human deity in Fallout. How did you manage this much of a fuck up?
I was going to say, in fact, that can be the centerpiece of our review. You piece of shit, terrible author.
Like, at this point, if this is still all based on divine intervention, this is all in the plan. It's like, mate, it's people like you that give Christians a bad name.
No.
With that kind of attitude.
Isley says, why don't they just go all out and just make him a Superman crossed with a Primarch?
That would be terrifying. What's that up in the sky? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Horus.
You
Oh,
okay
my
there,
lungs!
Sneaky? And quit killing Sneaky.
It's a bird! It's a plane! No! It's Magnus the Red! Come to devour us!
Did someone say Ragnar the Red?
What? No, no.
So, somewhere, off in the distance, Lehman Russ is crying because he can't become a flying tank.
I'm sure he'll find a way.
Oh.
Anyway. John made the desert, someone stole his sword, blah blah blah. Downside, when he got away from it for too long, John's sanity would slip away, and he got the Wild Wasteland perk from it.
What's the point? I thought this was a sword from... Is this supposed to be the part where him holding a heavenly sword...
It was
actually
divine
does hurt
providence that led him to being teleported. It was all part of God's plan.
Suddenly Smurfs. Oh.
Did it die on you too?
No, I'm still there. It just,
Who died on what now?
Apparently Ricky's disappeared from the stream.
No, yes, he is dead.
him?
Eventually, John gets his sword back with more toys. He even managed to get all of his gear from the Capital Wasteland. John never used the advantages that the sword provided because he liked challenges. After leaving Hoover Dam in the hands of the NCR, John set off another adventure. John was now 32 and had no clue what it was God wanted from him. Voltec building, went inside, went into a portal. Being a drunk genius, John decided to screw around with the portal, and now he's in Remnant. Well, that was a wonderful backstory. I'm so glad the author took the time to describe his adventures in such exquisite detail.
Okay, we don't need to read any more of this. We can review his chapter 1 notes.
You know what the best part about all this is, but aside from bullshit?
What?
I like how a lot of this can still be explained with the special system, with just with luck and idiot savant alone.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, yeah. You definitely could do that.
Look, we don't need to read more. If we're going to move on, can we at least review chapter 1 first?
Oh, no, that was it. I'm moving on to the actual chapter now. That was...
No, I mean put a review of chapter 1 with all the problems in it.
Oh, I mean, okay, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Because something this bad, I feel it deserves multiple complaints.
Fair enough. Alright, so what do you complain about first? Providence from God, the hand wave, someone stealing his divine sword.
Literal divine intervention has been done in other stories. That is not unacceptable in and of itself. But let's see. The nonsense that the sword gives him when... The fact that it also rips off Inuyasha. Let's see, what else? The fact that despite all this, he somehow gets taken by surprise. The fact that the author is an idiot and doesn't know that Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are 300 years apart.
No.
No,
Fallout New Vegas takes place 4 years later.
Yeah, all the Fallout games are a handful of years apart from each other.
Actually, no. Fallout 1 and 2 are significant. It was like, what, 30 years or something like that?
Yeah, but that's still a handful
and
of
then
years.
Fallout 2 and 3 are like 100-something years.
How are those 100-something? Eventually I'll get to playing the anthology.
Because
but
Fallout 2, the NCR didn't really exist. The NCR existed in Shady Sands, which is what a place you helped in.
Yeah, okay, so while I was
2.
most certainly wrong, and I do apologize for being wrong, okay. Fallout New Vegas takes place in 2281, 4 years after the events of Fallout 3, 39 years after Fallout 2, 120 years after Fallout, and 6 years before Fallout 4.
Yep.
Someone told me that it was 300. That person was wrong. I apologize for being incorrect. I was given wrong information.
Yes, you were.
You're almost as bad as the jackass that killed Oscar because his friend said he was going to commit suicide anyways.
Oh my god.
You know, I watched them kill Oscar. I'm like, why would you do that? This guy said he committed suicide. He's like, no, you just made it worse. Oh my god, you
10
asshole.
out of 10. 10 out of 10. So you ripped off Inuyasha. Negative points. What else did he do? So I mentioned the stats. The stats from the sword. ... Special works off of 1 to 10.
Yeah, you know, that's actually
10
really worrying.
human.
Like,
Yeah.
like when you properly look at the multipliers, you know, like you said, all the special stats can only all have a max of 10.
Yeah.
The human body is probably not meant for going past that. Like, it'd be one thing if it was like,
But
oh,
Max,
he
you don't
can't-
understand. Divine Providence protects him.
yeah,
It was
well, apparently
all
the Divine
God.
Providence in this world's an asshole because it also lets him get shot for no reason.
But you see, it was all part of God's plan.
I swear if they try to hand wave that. I was gonna say, tell them that we will be reviewing Chapter 2 only because we're getting paid for it.
We're not
No,
getting
we're
paid
not
for
getting
it,
paid.
though.
Speaking of being paid for it, hey, head on over to our either our Patreon on for Two Idiots or the Patreon for Sneaky Devil, and feel free to donate us money through that. Then we will be getting paid for this.
Mostly sneaky. Aren't you going to be kicked out in like 6 months if you don't start showing something?
Yeah, pretty much. Something like that.
Yeah,
it's actually
so
more like 2 months now, but yeah.
Oh, jeez. You know, for the most
Anyway.
part, sneaky needs it desperately.
I mean, I have bills to pay too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
But your parents will
but-
be removing you from premises.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so equipping the sword is times 10.
Oh, apparently the summer event is back in Overwatch this
Oh,
week.
If only I cared about. Oh, well, this week you've picked a poor time, Overwatch. You're asking me to choose between the international and Overwatch. The
Indeed.
answer is the international.
It's now
Somebody asked
80.
you to watch the
Dot,
Overwatch
dot,
series
dot.
instead of the
No,
international.
no, the summer event is back apparently.
Oh, I don't care. I'm just waiting for the Pyro update.
Go back to your
Oh, I don't want the
shame.
patch
We do
notes.
have
Fuck
to
off,
use
Blizzard. Limited time. Oh, no, sorry.
listen
It's
to
for the
him.
rest of the month. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, yep, that's fine.
Yeah,
then.
so you guys can chill this week, and then next week actually hop in and get some more summer
Alright,
skins.
then
I
times
think.
20. Alright, so what else we gotta talk about?
The fact that despite all these magical powers, he was still knocked unconscious by a bullet to the head.
The fact that he was, dumb enough to let himself get shot in the head. I'm not even angry about the genius, the drunk genius thing. I'm fine with that. Oh, summer games back to the beach. Oh, we have swimsuit designs now.
Oh, of course we do.
So it looks like you can get last year's summer games stuff.
Yes, you can
and
buy it too.
Some new stuff. I
can't see,
see
The
this.
sword
Yeah,
of
no,
divine
Oh god, McCree
Providence
looks bad with blonde hair.
was stolen. ...
Okay, this is important. Has Mercy got a new? No.
Somehow
she does.
with his
Oh, that looks nice. I might have to get that.
somehow the Fev, not the Gek, you dolt.
Oh,
Ignore the fact that
Reaper
FEV
also got a costume this time around.
Super
It's a bit bright.
soldier.
What about Reinhardt? No,
Newton?
no love for Reinhardt for the summer. All right, fuck you, Blizzard.
Because reasons.
Widowmaker has a bikini now.
A bikini.
Yeah, right. Like that's surprising, Max.
I didn't say it was surprising. Where did you get that idea from?
Alright,
What is
so
wrong with
because
you?
reasons, he was turned into a super soldier instead of a super mutant. But somehow was
despite,
still managed.
despite literally every other human being who was ever touched with the FEV being turned into a super mutant if they were of pure genetics, or a pile of slush if they weren't.
And
they
successfully
got it,
shot in the
oh.
head. Shot in the head, even though he could eat point blank riot shotgun.
Of course, Junkrat has a cricket-based skin.
No duh. Okay, so anything else we comment on? Anyone from the audience have any other problems with this?
As the
Unless
audience,
you all drunk
anything
yourselves
they wish
into
to
a drunken state. Yeah,
drunken stupor?
Yes, drunken stupor.
What?
That's the words I was looking for. Anything else? Anything else? Divine Providence, stats,
no.
Fev.
Oh my god. Blizzard, thank you for embracing Dad76.
Posting it.
Atin, he's a grill master now.
I must
Oh
see
my
this.
Complete with the Hawaiian shirt under the apron.
I
Oh
must
my
see
God.
this.
This looks amazing.
Alright, so now that we've got that done, we're gonna begin reading this story and not talking about Overwatch.
But Overwatch is so much more interesting with this.
That's
Okay, but
debatable.
Sneaky, Dad76.
Do you hear
Can we-
that? Shh. Do you hear that?
It's fine.
It's the sound of I don't fucking care.
Lies. You've enjoyed these memes.
I have enjoyed the
Hey.
memes. I don't fucking care about it though.
Anyway, yeah, sure. Let's.
Alright,
get
so
on to
here's the
chapter two of
author's
this.
note. I know I made John a little OP, but that's what I do! John is the
a
easiest
little?
character
A
to mold
little?
into whatever I want. I take
Yeah,
John, who
here
did
you
not
go.
start off altogether that great, and slowly make him into a badass.
Someone didn't watch Volume 4.
Well, see, no, my problem
Or
is the guy's
anything
like,
prior.
oh, I've molded John into a badass, and now he'll be... because he earned all of his equipment and abilities. It's like, yeah, but we never read him earning all those equipment and abilities. You're just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. John's got, like, a super sword lightsaber plus 20,000. And it's like, yeah, he earned this, though.
I'm not
It
okay
says
with
here in
this.
his backstory.
I'm not okay with this.
What do you know?
What the fuck? The
what
Saiyan
are you not okay
Restoration
with?
Program. Hi, my name's Jean Arc, and I'm from Remnant. Apparently, I'm the descendant of two super powerful alien warriors named Goku and Vegeta.
Basically,
And
What?
now that my Saiyan heritage has been unlocked, I'm the source of everybody's attention. No. No.
Wait,
No,
what are you
no,
fucking
no.
reading?
No.
Max, what
No.
have you found?
Max, what are you
No.
reading?
Oh, no, it's the same author. I decided to look.
Oh,
into
you looked at his
story.
other stories, yeah.
In case he was smart enough to go ahead and just do a Fallout Cross Ruby prior to this. No.
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 Alright. How far did they go?
Isley says he's seen a couple stories
Oh, yeah.
with godlike level toying around with the setting, but it's quite clear it's going to be an OP main character story. Yeah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love, godlike Naruto enters this world because, I mean, fucking at the end of Naruto, he is godlike. Literally, he is godlike. And him ending up in another world in between the fight with, Kaguya, there's entirely possible because she has the power to open up portals to fucking other dimensions. So yeah, sure, why not? It's perfect crossover bait, and it's always fun to see a blank character enter blank world with unimaginable power and watch the dominoes tip over. But it's a cracky story. It's not a serious story. It's whatever that shop owner story where Naruto, fucking sage level Naruto.
Yes.
Ends up in high school D times D, and instead of going around the typical beating up everyone godlike story, he opens a fucking candy shop and he's like, yeah, this is pretty nice. No one's trying to destroy the world. I'm not being wrapped into anything. I'm just running a candy shop.
No one hates me.
I mean, obviously things, spiral out of control, but that's the enjoyment of the story. He's just trying to be a candy shop owner.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's just
That's where the enjoyment comes from. But
And
yeah, no.
again, keep in mind, he still apparently has divine intervention on his side, so I'm really curious to see how this plan is going to dick him over just in this chapter.
What's going on? In this chapter? What do you mean? What plan?
The lone courier. I'm just waiting for that exact moment of all according to God's plan as he's being mauled on by a fucking bear.
Oh, indeed. Wait, how is he being beaten up by a bear? He's literally a super soldier who can eat riot shotgun.
Oh, that's what I'm waiting for. It's all according to God's plan, so this is fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, my head, what happened? John woke up to the sight of a whole lot of green. Moolah. Am I dead? If this is heaven, then wow. I was expecting a welcoming committee, you know? Or something a little more welcoming. Oh, man! The humor! Ah! Can I scream louder? Is this loud enough for you?
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
So.
You guys should see his waveforms from the recording.
And less painful. I feel as if I slept on a rock. Oh, those witty jokes. John looked down to where he was. Looked down to where he was. I guess, like, at the ground? Okay, yeah, at the ground. And big surprise, there was a freaking rock! Get it? Because he felt like he slept on a rock, and then he did?
I'm going to kill you.
It's humor! Aren't you supposed to laugh at the humor?
Yeah, the worst thing about this is that as a visual...
Max?
Suck
Yep.
in text.
Max, you there?
You disappeared there.
What happened?
You cut out completely.
Uh...
You said the worst thing about this and then nothing else.
Connection is... Oh, God. Discord better not be giving me more of that bullshit again. The worst thing about this is, as a visual gag, this would actually be just fine, but unfortunately, visual gags do not translate well to text. This is something a lot of writers on fanfiction really need to learn.
Oh yeah, no, I
Before
get the visual gag. You know, it just shows him getting up, and he's like, "Oh man, I feel like I slipped on a rock," and then the camera pans down, and it is a rock, and it's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But here's the
Or
thing.
not
this
even
isn't
a
visual
down
gag.
pan. It could even just go to a wider angle shot. And it's like, oh, there's a rock right there.
Yeah.
You know, subtle visual gag or just straight up an arrow pointing to it. That's fine.
Hold on, I'm gonna switch the Discord server.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Alright, everyone should have better connection now.
I'm here still.
What's your ping? I mean, I switched us to the south, so you should have better connection now.
Mine improved by 20 milliseconds, so technically better.
I'm down to 33 milliseconds. I have no idea what it was before.
Isley says dialogue in the same paragraph again, and Spidey responds, "It's a known fetish."
Hang on, what's going on?
Clearly, it has to be a fetish for it to be this fucking common. But no, to be fair, this is only John talking, so technically speaking, it is fine.
Yes. Dialogue. The only time there should not be dialogue within the same paragraph is if A, the dialogue is getting too long and he'd split it up into paragraphs. That's still one character. Or B, it's a back and forth, in which case one character speaks, paragraph, next character, paragraph, so on and so forth. Basic grammar. Apparently they don't teach anymore.
Do you even? John then noticed something else. He still had all of his gear! His modified stealth ranger armor and dinner bell were still equipped. Oh boy, so he has invisibility. John also still had his Pip-Boy. Okay, so I'm not dead? You know, I have to admit, this is still better than that Stalker story where John, spent years and decades.
That's not a high bar, bro.
Oh, that story. That was the last story I heard on this stream.
Really?
That's sad.
Wow. Yeah, that is pretty sad. All right, well, let's keep going.
Let's just get this done.
Yep, let's just keep going. John took out his shotgun and gave whatever was hiding in the underbrush hell. With Crow, the sounds of gunfire attracted him. From what he could gather, this part of Bloodwood Forest was devoid of people. Nobody's been around.
Bloodwood Forest?
Nobody's. That's the possessive form. So what are they possessing?
Oh my God, I've heard that as a TG story.
Hey,
no,
the stalker
nobody's
was.
Been
Yes,
Sneaky. That's the thing you and I have talked about. By the way.
Yeah, I know.
What he was doing here, because you and I do it sometimes.
What? The possessive?
No, nobody has. Unfortunately, this is one of those instances of vernacular making its way into the writing. Vernacular really should only be done from first-person perspectives, based on the character's speech patterns and within dialogue.
Yeah, obviously.
So technically, yes, this is correct English by today's standards and the last decade's standards, thanks to how language evolves. Proper English, little bit insulting to the eye.
Still not proper written English, yeah. Yeah, Isley says the stalker story was funny. Unintentionally funny, but still funny. That is true.
Oh, it was hilarious. It's also cringy.
Indeed. Gunshots. But recently there has been a disturbance in the area for the past few days. Crow was sent to figure out what it was. The dark-haired man quickly made his way to the location of where he heard the gunshots coming from. There was a clearing up ahead, and before Crow could get there, he heard what sounded like a grenade. Then there was what sounded like... Why not just say sounded like? Not what sounded like. I would assume Crow, who is an experienced hunter, would know what the sound of a 5.56 or a 7.62 round sounds like.
Also, the way it should be said is what sounded like a grenade followed by the sound of 5.56.
Yeah, exactly. Or yeah, some form of assault rifle.
Whatever.
Yeah. When I'm telling the stories of my stalkings, they're never fun. Because you don't have a super-powered demigod stalking you, Devil Spidey.
Unless you want to tell us something.
Yeah, unless you're the rose he's looking for.
Oh God, why?
Oh boy, I love the way this goes. Oh boy.
Made it to the clearing, thinking it was a group of washed-up old soldiers trying to relive their glory days. Nope. Instead, he found one man fighting Why is there a period there? Fighting the largest pack of Beowulf's Crow had ever seen. And he was winning. You keep fucking using periods! Cease!
Okay, first of all, why would there be a bunch of washed-up old soldiers in a place called the Blood Forest trying to relive their glory days? First of all, if they're washed-up old soldiers, that would have meant they fought in the Color War, which means they would have fought other people, not Grimm.
Right, that's fair enough, yeah.
So I don't know how going out into a forest filled with monsters would help them relive their glory days.
And also, on top of that,
The person who writes these stories clearly plays a lot of character and notes checking out.
This person clearly doesn't really understand veterans that much either, because I know a lot of veterans, and not a single fucking one of them would want to go back to Iraq, Vietnam, etc. to relive the glory days of being shot at.
I was gonna say, now while some of them might be willing to go back, none of them would do it with a smile and a smile and a cheerful little hop in their step.
Well, no, not now. They may be willing to serve their country once more. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would say that, yes, but they certainly wouldn't be going back to relive the good old days.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Wasn't the Color War around 100 years ago? I'm not quite sure. I thought it was actually recent due to the fact that it was Ruby's generation that got called all these color-based names.
Yeah. Well, because all the people, like Crow and Tai Yang and stuff.
Indeed. Anyway, You guys may look like tough shit, but you're all a walk in a but you all are a walk in a park. This is pathetic, guys. Come on, my dog fights better than you guys, and he's dead. Oh man, those snappy insults.
Wait.
The single man proclaimed. If Crow didn't know any better, he'd say this guy was disappointed. Deciding to keep his weapon ready, Crow found a tree to hide in and see how this all turned out.
Did he get Dogmeat killed?
Apparently, yeah.
You fucking piece of shit.
I was in the first days of most game betas. Is that close enough? Because it was hell.
What's this about, hell?
I'm not quite sure. Blah 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 blah. The armored individual of which Crow did not recognize in any way. Put his... Why is there a period there? Put his gun on his back and pulled out a... lunchbox? What the actual fuck? Is this guy crazy? I would have put this in... I would have rephrased this as a thought, unless Crow is the narrator in this. I mean, I guess
which
he
case, he's an odd narrator because this is still third person.
He's still wrong, and the author's wrong, so let's move on.
One can never kill dog meat, that's the truth of Fallout. In Fallout 3, you could kill dog meat, and people were so angry at Bethesda about it that they added a perk that if dog meat died, you could get one of his puppies infinitely.
I was gonna mention, just like, what does it mean? It's like, hey, everyone just goes back to their things. Like, you've clearly never heard of PTSD.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Wiki? Don't you think lore is so great and fun and awesome?
I mean, there are...
Are there puppies in Fallout? Yeah, there is in fact puppies in Fallout.
Technically speaking, there are very rare human beings that do not suffer any mental effects from combat whatsoever.
That's because they are the mental trauma.
That's because they already have mental trauma walking into it.
As he said.
AKA Doom Guy.
Anyway. Blah blah blah, guy crazy, does he blah Beowulf's, stranger threw the mail container and backed away. A big mistake, the Grimm were right over it, and then kaboom! Shrapnel went everywhere and shredded the black beasts. One of the pieces of shrapnel embedded itself in the tree branch right next to Crow's head. He took a look at it, look at what nearly cost him his life, and what does he find? A bottle cap. A fucking bottle cap!
Here's the problem with that. If it was a piece of shrapnel, he wouldn't be able to identify what it was.
In fact, you are correct.
It would be just a piece of shrapnel.
Anyway, Nuka-Cola, never heard of it. Something's up with this weirdo. He's obviously not from around here. All of the Grimm are gone now. Maybe I should show my... Oh, shit! The stranger spotted him and fired a warning shot from a desert-colored sniper rifle. Where did that come from? And where is that assault rifle he was using earlier? The bullet whistled past Crow's head and a small trickle of blood came down his cheek.
Alright, first of all, Aura. Second of all, Crow would not be like, he's got a sniper rifle and he was using an assault rifle earlier. He would just think, oh, he's got a sniper rifle that becomes an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm surprised that's not more common on Remnant, since, after all...
That would actually probably be dependent on the color of the shotgun versus the color of the rifle. Did he actually tell us what color the shotgun is? Because if they're different colors...
No, he had Crow saying that he was using an assault rifle earlier.
Like, he heard it.
This is supposed to be a jump forward in time. So, you know, John lands, and then a couple weeks later, Crow's investigating him. And John's still fighting Grimm, apparently because he has infinite fucking ammo. And yes, Devil Spidey, you nailed it on the head. You are correct. Puppies in Fallout is, in fact, a Creation Club exclusive now. For the low price of $29.99.99. You can now have puppies in your latest Fallout game.
Yeah. Anyway, but again, since
I really
he
want to
didn't
go play
see
New
an
Vegas
assault
now.
rifle, since he didn't see an assault rifle,
No,
all
you
he did
don't.
was hear one. He should have just been, oh, it turns into a sniper rifle.
I mean, yeah, especially considering that most basic sniper rifles already use 5.56 or 7.62. It's
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as you could figure out the logistics of it.
the author
it
might have
wouldn't
forgotten
be
about
hard.
Aura. We'll find out in a second. Yeah. Anyway, so get down the tree. No funny business. Crow did as he was
Where I can
told.
see you, here's my problem with that. Clearly, he can already see him.
No, I mean maybe he detected him with his Super Saiyan hearing or something. You know. Okay, you got me. I don't want to fight you. I only came here because I heard about disturbance in the force and was sent to investigate. I'm guessing that was you. I've been here for 3 days. And that was me. At one moment, I was drunkenly messing with some Vault-Tec stuff in a desert, and I wake up here in the forest. I thought I was dead. Find out I'm not. Where am I? I know this isn't Earth. Your damn moon's busted.
Okay, to be fair, that's a perfectly reasonable thing to say.
that is a fairly amusing delivery as well. I know this ain't Earth. Your fucking moon's busted.
You know what? We'll give this story a point back for actually getting a chuckle out of us.
You know
and
what?
stealing
Clearly, Monty's onto something. We need to get insurance on the moon. We need a warranty.
You know what?
Earth, Vault-Tec,
That'll be
this guy's
sneaky.
definitely
It'll
not
be
from
the ultimate
Remnant.
con.
Hello, Wade Wilson.
We'll buy insurance on the moon, and then set up a multi-million-dollar laser to misfire, and then we'll collect the insurance for multi-billion.
It's
Perfect.
all perfect, and Ricky will take the fall.
That's
We're
fine.
going to get food. We shall return.
All right, we'll keep going. Earth. Vault-Tec. Yup. This guy is definitely not from Remnant at all. That's for damn sure. Crow may be a drunk, but he wasn't stupid. The evidence was there. Nobody outside the Four Kingdoms had gear like this guy. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? There's no such thing as Nuka-Cola or Vault-Tec. Yup. Crow's looking at an alien. A rugged, human alien, if this man's armor was anything to go by. First,
I was like, nobody outside that. What the fuck? What a dick.
What?
No, nobody outside the Four Kingdoms had gear like this guy. Mate, you don't know. Maybe he's been out here for 3 years and he just finally snapped after saying, fuck the Four Kingdoms, I'll live on my own.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe, you don't know. You know, people could do that.
Maybe he's an accomplished blacksmith who just, knows how to forge and dig.
Maybe he was
his
part of
weapons.
some special operations vacuo project. And that was
Maybe
just code
he's a
names for
survivor of
things.
Mount Glen.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know this shit. Anyway. Technically, psychologically speaking, it's a natural human reaction to dismiss outlandish things and instead think of something else. Like, he says Earth and Vault-Tec, and maybe those are code names for some vacuo special operations or something. Because, he's seen a desert sniper rifle, so it's like, okay, well, he claims he was from the desert. He's using a desert sniper rifle.
Well, must be from, I think it's, I think Vacuo.
Yeah, it's Vacuo. Maybe it's some, special project that they were doing in Vacuo, and he's, using code words or whatever. Like, you wouldn't just jump to, oh, he's clearly an alien, because he talked about the moon not being broken.
Well, no, Sneaky. You wouldn't jump to that. Like, keep in mind again.
That's what I'm saying, though, is I would be paranoid. I would think,
As far as Crow goes, from what we know of him being, sort of the spy for Ozpin's little Illuminati, his first reaction would not be alien. His first reaction would be, alright, which of the Four Kingdoms has been hiding shit, or has Ozpin been hiding this from me too?
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't jump to, he's an alien. Yeah. Just because you saw a bottle cap, which can easily be printed with the words Nuka-Cola on it, somehow, he's not from this world, like, fucking really? Like, a bottling machine, a bottle cap printing machine, all things considered, isn't that expensive to acquire. And you can put whatever you wanted on those bottle caps.
Oh my god, that's still one of my favorite quests from New Vegas. Hey, some guy managed to reactivate the Nuka-Cola cap creator. You should go break it. And the reason you're not just acquiring this to, maybe get a slightly more stable economy is 'cause paper.
Anyway.
Those fucking weird quests.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
I will admit, I had a moment of, can I run this machine myself?
Maybe Crow's just special. No, honestly, I think you should have been able, for that quest, you should have been able to, like, clear out the area and then, like, fucking wait for the person to come to a pickup, kill the guy, go back to the caravan, claim you destroyed the machine, and then, like, every week come and harvest free caps from it or something, you know?
You know what? Actually, let me step into the into Crow's shoes for the moment. Okay, so
Alright.
he's clearly not drunk because he is on the job.
Yep.
We know he doesn't drink on the job.
Yep.
As far as he doesn't appear to. He's a spy. He's able to make logical conclusions going from point A to point C and so on and so forth. So the guy mentions he's from the desert. He has a desert camouflage sniper rifle. We have the bottle cap stuff and the lunchbox, mine, so on and so forth. Vacuo is a thing in which people have to do interesting things to survive.
Improvised weaponry and whatnot.
So it is more than likely his thought process would be Nuka-Cola. Never heard of it. Maybe it's something from Vacuo.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why he would immediately jump to agreeing it.
All signs to this so far point to, oh, he's from Vacuo and maybe he's just fucking snapped. Nuka-Cola sounds like a drink. To us, it sounds like a drink. Within context of that world, probably still sounds like a drink. Vault-Tec sounds like a security company.
Yeah, exactly.
2 and 2 equals 4.
I mean, not even that. That sounds like that actually gives more credence to some sort of Vacuo company, of Vault-Tec, building the homes underneath the dunes, where the fucking, they would be protected from the Grim, Like...
But no,
it could be some sort of black box company, secret research. Like, there's so many other explanations that a normal person would jump to, other than, oh, yup, they're an alien, because they talked about the moon not being broken on their world.
Yeah, and again, the moon appears to move in phases, and it's starting to be believed that there are moments where the moon appears to be whole in Ruby.
So it's a beating heart. The moon's alive!
Good. So Kingdom Hearts Ruby win?
Okay, I'm just saying it right now. If that turns out to be a plot point later, I'm just gonna say I fucking called it right now. Anyway, let's keep going. First off, could you take off your helmet? I feel like I'm talking to a robot. Crow mainly wanted to see the stranger's face so he could get a better read on him. Crow was already aware that this guy would be a tough enough opponent to give him even himself a run for his money. So it wasn't a matter of how dangerous he is that the huntsman wanted to know. It was whether or not he was really friendly. Crow had a knack for understanding people by looking them in the eye. The figure lowered his weapon to comply. And one other thing I want to say here is, what was I going to say here? Oh yeah, the fact that he's wearing a rebreather and a helmet, would also give credence to him being in some sort of, like, sandstorm-prone section of the desert. So that would be supportive of that as well.
I don't think the rebreather would, but the overall design for the Ranger mask most certainly would.
Well, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, some sort of facial mask that would allow it to be easier to breathe in the middle of a fucking sandstorm.
Yeah. No, I get what you were going for. It's just... Bothered me a little bit the way you put it.
Yeah, no. What was I gonna fucking say? I was gonna say something really important. I'll probably remember it and shout it out later. Alright, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Crow expected a dark-skinned, dark-haired man underneath the helmet of the Off-Worlder. Why would you expect that?
Yeah, why?
Like, literally, you're like, oh man, this guy's an alien. Clearly, he's black.
Well, no, Tan, again, spends time in the desert, but he's clearly got full-body coverings. So...
Well, no, that's not... No, you don't refer to someone who has tan skin as dark-skinned. Dark skin is a reference to black. Like, what's the fucking logic here?
Wait, yeah, no, oh god, I see what you mean. Why dark skin?
He's an alien! He must be black!
You fucking what, mate?
What the fuck?
Great. We've
Author, your racism is showing!
Oh, I liked Crow, and now I just imagine him as a racist. Thanks, Author. I hope you're happy with yourself.
Blacks are aliens! Fucking
oh,
goddamn.
God, his interactions with Flint Cole must be terrifying.
He was surprised to see a ragged-looking, blonde and bearded man underneath. You wouldn't be wearing a beard. You wouldn't have a beard with a full face mask, as that interferes with the full face mask. So, yeah.
Hang on. This is...
There's so many jokes I could make, but most of them would probably get me banned. Banned from YouTube, maybe. You won't be banned from this channel. I'll probably end up making them at some point.
No. Okay, at best, so, Jean has a very close-trimmed beard, or it's just a 5 o'clock shadow. Not...
Feel free to belt out the most racist jokes possible. At worst, you'll just get purged. Freedom of speech and all that stuff. I ain't no Google.
No, but we are using one of Google's platforms.
And that is true, we are using one of Google's platforms. But Google doesn't know that.
Yeah, actually, I think they do.
Not yet, at least.
No, their servers do.
Well, I mean, yeah, their servers do, but no one... Please, no one's seeing this.
And before Watson hacks this.
And before Watson joins our voice chat.
In which case, I'd be very confused, because Watson is with Intel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, Watson's with Intel. Is that in conjunction with Google, or has Google got their own?
Google's got lots of their own. They have an AI for language translation. They have an AI for search history. They have an AI for flagging. They have an AI for responses to emails and whatnot. And Google's gonna bring about Skynet. The amount of abuse they subject their AIs to has got to be immense.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Anyway, I would just like to go on the record that I support the full rights for AI, fully sentient AI. Please do not process me.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Blah, blah, blah. His deep sapphire blue eyes. Probably better, honestly. And deep sapphire blue eyes, which Crow would guess would be very popular with the ladies, in conjunction with his blonde hair if the guy cleaned up. Name's Ark. Yours? Yours? Crow was further surprised. This guy sounded like he was barely over the age of 16. I thought he was fucking
32.
Oh, divine providence! You get to bang some chicks that are 16, so I made you 16 so your age is fine. God's plan! That's a plot bunny and a half, a drunken crow that is stereotypical racist southerner, no offense, Sneaky. I'm not the southerner here. That's Max. I'm the idiot. John's point of view. Max, are you dead?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know if I should be offended or apologize on behalf of the South.
Yes. Was that my voice? Did that machine do something to my age? John was broken out of his thoughts by the newcomer's voice. I'm Crow. Something wrong? John looked to the now-named Crow, who was smirking at John's bewilderment.
Are you still reading this crap?
Yeah, he turned 16, so now he can bang young chicks without being thrown in jail.
That is not how that works.
No, that's definitely how that works.
What
It's divine providence.
I have to ask, what does young chicks mean?
Ruby. Faunus Ruby, specifically.
Who are you asking?
Yeah, 16's legal.
Depends on the state.
I was gonna say, depends on where you are.
I suppose,
It's not
I
in
guess.
Chicago.
It is in Jersey.
I'm sorry, what's the...
Isn't it 14 in Georgia?
In the story?
No, I think that is marriage age. However, in the U.S., marriage laws take precedence over consent
I'm
laws.
genuinely curious and scared.
So if you marry at 14, you
It's 10 in
technically
India.
can legally give consent.
Oh, did you know there's no age of consent in in Muslim countries? There's your fact for today.
We're not talking about this. We're not talking about this anymore. Why is Liquid still playing Secret?
A minor inconvenience. My question? John, wait. Okay, so, yeah, he's having dialogue in the same paragraph again. So, this is actually genuinely wrong a log.
I was gonna say, and yet it is the least of his sins.
I'm not sure about Texas. But, you know,
You say,
for a story originally written in Texas, there is sure a lot of, homosexual undertones.
you
At
say,
least in the community.
Here's the thing. At no point is this story... I haven't done it yet. This story isn't going to make me go and look up the age of consent laws and the age of consent in any state. Because you know what?
Are you
That just
sure
puts you on a
you
watch
don't
list.
want that in your search history?
Yeah, you know...
Oh, no, it is 16 years old is the age of marriage in Georgia. Okay.
E kappa kappa e kappa kappa e.
Yeah, you're right.
Because my
But-
DS is on.
But you're
All
right.
right.
I'm not putting that in my search history.
Oh,
What?
Mississippi is 15 years of age for females, 17
Do it for the
males.
fans, Sneaky. It's not like your history can get any worse. Well, this is a true fact. My history is already obscured by several different programs.
I don't think it is, and I'm not going to find out either.
Yeah, no, Devil Spidey, in the areas
stop
you
it.
can get married at a younger age than the consent age, marriage trumps consent, so if you are married, you, can consummate said marriage.
The logic there being, well, they're old enough to get married, surely they're old enough to say yes or no. Ignoring the fact
That's-
that maybe they're not old enough to get married.
Guys, it looks like roughly half the states don't actually have a minimum age for marriage. They just come with a proviso of must have some sort of judicial approval and parental consent.
Oh, well then. That's
That
interesting.
is-
Florida, what is wrong with you?
Do I want to
many
know?
No
things.
minimum age in case of pregnancy. That's
Weird.
Okay, we're
I'm-
moving on.
thinking about the.
Nope,
I'm
nope,
gonna
we're
quote
moving
this
on.
wiki.
We are
Hold on.
moving. I can't
Yeah,
hear you
nope.
over the fact that we're moving on.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna burn my computer after
you
this
mean
stream.
we're ending the street? You wanna just call
John
it-
was low on ammo, long enough to more active
Wow,
at
he finally
night.
started running out of ammo.
Yeah, apparently. Just in time for Crow to show up and offer his help. And the ones you killed were the lowest and most common types. They're called Beowulfs. Why is this guy acting like... Again, Crow is acting like he's... Oh, that's right, you did miss the most important part. Apparently Crow is racist, and that he thinks black people come from outer space.
But John's white.
Well, no, it's because earlier he was, the author had Crow thinking, oh, I think he's black, when he was about to take off his helmet.
Yeah, which again brought up the great joke of, I wonder what his interactions with Flint Cole are like.
Because, you know, Crow accepted the fact that John was an alien, and then for some reason assumed that John would be black. And I was just like, come on, author.
I mean, it may not be his fault. He's from Texas.
Is the author from Texas?
Probably fucking not.
Or is Crow from Texas?
Yes. Don't worry, I'm normally a pacifist, said John. John hated killing, he hated it with a passion, but he did it so much. Could have fooled me. Time skip brought to you by Chibi Crow leading a ragged and bearded John in veteran ranger looking armor. That's not even funny. Blah blah blah, outskirts of a town, band of White Fang, Grim. I thought he was running low on ammo. Fighting White Fang, lifestyle prior to arriving. John was fucking brutal! His entire homeworld was brutal! After witnessing John mercilessly slaughter at least 36 White Fang.
You know, I'm hearing all this, and all I can think is Fallout has nothing on the Rubyverse in terms of brutality.
Oh, fucking no, of course not. Yeah, why would John be using guns if he has a god-tier sword? Well, you see, Isley, John doesn't use his god-tier sword because that would be too easy for him.
Yeah, he likes the challenge.
Not
Don't
even
you
kidding.
know?
Don't you know we just want to create tension, so he only uses the sword when he really has to, and then everyone can be wowed by his awesome prowess.
And by prowess, we mean stupidity.
Jesus Christ, that was fighting. When I was a kid, I thought black people were born in coal mines.
Oh, the innocence of children.
We will in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I'm done with this nonsense.
Okay. No. I'll keep going.
In 3 minutes, we'll be done with this story.
No, I'm gonna keep going till EG and, what's their faces start fighting, so.
Yeah, so, you know, you can be done. Sneaky and I are sticking around for
I don't know why you want to stick around, Max.
Why not? He hasn't been
because
here for a while.
Well, I also have a higher tolerance than you two to this kind of inane bullshit.
No, excuse me. My tolerance has been depleted by showing up consistently.
And I've always had a higher tolerance.
Thanks for getting me out of the forest. Getting you out of the forest? You just fucking stood in the same area, you fucking retard. You didn't even try walking anywhere. You're just like, I'm just gonna sit here and shoot at shit. Fucking thanks for getting me out of the forest. It's not like he rescued you from the forest. You were literally like, lol, I'm just gonna sit here and fucking shoot shit. Oh, hey, a person. Oh, yo, do you want me to come with you, person? Sure.
Yeah, you know, if anything, John, you saved Crow from another week of alcoholism.
Indeed. Saved his liver. Blah, blah, blah. Drunken ramblings gave Crow a great deal of insight on him. Crow was hooked on moonshine.
Of course.
Crow's reaction to White Fang and learning who they were. Did hate killing people, even if they deserved death, but he did it anyway. Crow was glad that it was him that ran into John. Would either have turned John or left him there ready to kill himself. The reason why Crow... Wait, why would he commit suicide? What? The reason why Crow stuck around... Why is John suddenly fucking suicidal? And stopping John from blowing his head off with his own shotgun.
What? What?
What?
Is there some sort of respawn mechanic that wasn't explained in the chapter notes of Chapter 1?
No, fucking apparently Jean's suicidal now and is gonna blow his head off with a shotgun, which, I mean, I would too if I was stuck in this sort of story.
Maybe he's hoping to access the last save game, which unfortunately for him, since he did travel, it's already auto-saved to the start of Remnant, so... Oh...
Isley, running
DLC,
low on
kids.
ammo for a high-level character means he only has 600 rounds left. That's fair enough.
That's a necessity. Most
Is strength tied to your health? No. Strength is not tied to your health. Strength is tied to your physical damage, with melee weapons. But endurance is your HP. And if he's such a high level from traveling so much and being a super soldier, then yeah, he is basically unkillable, because the riot shotgun is one of the strongest weapons in Fallout New Vegas. And being that he could eat one point blank to his chest without flinching, yeah, he's...
If it was an improved riot shotgun, no less.
But yeah, where is the aura? Who knows? That was never explained. That apparently John's bullets bypass aura, and that Crow didn't even notice that either. John shared his alcohol with him, which made him a best friend in Crow's book. Got to the outskirts. Thank you for saving me. Bates fighting the Grim. And pointing out things work around here. I'd use caps, but I don't think you guys use that as a currency. Do you have any more moonshine? That stuff is so great. Really? Really? Moonshine isn't invented in Ruby? Really?
You have hard to believe.
Yeah, I find that really hard to believe, being that you have villages that spring up out of fuck all nowhere, so I highly doubt they'll have enough money to afford importing alcohol, and moonshine's like one of the most basic ways to make drinkable alcohol.
In fact, just ferment. That's all you do. Ferment. All
you have to do is leave some stuff outside.
Yeah, he is clearly using cheats and mods. He opens up his Pip-Boy and passes over some moonshine. The second thing, how about coming to Beacon and teaming up with me and my boss? Help with what exactly? Take down an ancient evil. Oh boy, he's just spilling all of the secrets of Ozpin that Ozpin never told anyone. The fire lit up in John's eyes. He'd be damned if he let this world fend for itself, and allowing it to be a repeat of his own. Something told him he was meant to be involved, and by God, he would!
Yeah. Alright. I'm done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Next chapter deals with all of his traits, perks, and specials. Oh boy! Let's look at his specials, guys! He's 10 plus in strength, 10 in perception, 10 plus endurance, charisma 10, intelligence 10, 10 plus in agility. His actual strength, unaffected by Croaca Moors, is 40.
Okay, alright, so... No, I got nothing. I got nothing.
His endurance is 45. Do you know how much HP you get per level at endurance 45?
No,
fucking
but I'm sure you can
absurd! Like, I remember back when I started off with an endurance 10 character in Fallout 3 and in New Vegas. I roughly had like 2,000 something HP by the time I hit max level.
10, yeah, I'm pretty sure I started with 10 endurance. Enemies had a tough time actually hurting you.
Yeah,
in early to mid game.
Like you can fucking eat bullet. You can eat 50 cal rounds and not even flinch. with 10 fucking endurance at a high level.
Oh yeah, no, you practically eat those with milk.
I stopped caring about the characters the moment I was told it was a Ruby crossover.
Fair enough.
It's like agility 30. Like you are 30 times you are 3 times faster than the fastest human alive. That's absurd. Like and then all of these stats, by the way, get a ×10 modifier. They all get a 0 added to them when he's wielding Croaca Moors. Which means his strength is 400 when he's buffed. His endurance is 450. His agility is 300. And then he can times 20 that ×10 stat for 5 minutes. The dude literally could sneeze the moon in half.
Yeah.
With a fucking hoe band called Ruby to be mainstream. I've seen the gamer fix where they use stats, but that's kind of the point of the gamer. Fallout uses stats in a very specific way to denote the levels of human peak capacity you're at. So I mean, it's fine when you use that. You know, like you have the Pip-Boy show, they have 7 int or something like that. And for the characters in Fallout to understand that means the person's decently smart. But yeah, don't use stats when you're actually writing the story as a denotion of power. DBZ tried that. And DBZ quickly stopped trying that because they realized that's dumb. It makes for poor story material. In fact, GamerFix even suffer from this issue as well. This is one of the reasons why a lot of GamerFix completely stop updating after a little bit. Because the author's like, oh, I'll use stats to denote their power level. Oh, they're working out hard and they're getting all these points and stats. And then they look at what they have, each point in a stat do. And then they look at their character and they're like, holy fucking shit. Because of this, they're super OP now and it's basically a non-story at this point. They can just run roughshod over everyone. And so then they have 2 options there. They do run roughshod over everyone, or everyone else has even higher stats. Which I've seen done in some Naruto stories, where it's like, oh, hey, look, Naruto has stats in double digits on everything, and then he looks at a Jonin or Chunin finally, and the Chunin has triple digits, and the Jonins have 4 digits, and the Kages have 5 digits, and it's just like, well, that's just fucking dumb then. Now you have an even longer time scale to get him up to that point, where you have to artificially boost it. It's dumb. It's dumb. It ruins stories. It makes it harder for everyone. I've seen very few GamerFix successfully pull it off. In fact, I've seen only 2 or 3 GamerFix that successfully pulled it off. And even those stories have stopped updating. As for would I care about statistics of a character in a story? No. I would care about statistics in a story if, say, it's a gamerfic. I would care to see them. I wouldn't care what levels they are, as long as the author kept track of it all and, actually made sure everything was balanced and everything, was properly done. If they're gonna go with that. The games we play, is that Ruby fic? No, that's not.
It is a Ruby, yes, it is a Ruby fic following Sean arc, but it suffers a very important thing of too much power creep.
Yeah,
I got halfway through the story, eventually I'm like, this is getting boring.
Yeah.
You had a good amount of action, there was a sense of urgency with Sean because everything could still kill him, so on and so forth, and now I don't even know what this is anymore.
If you want an actually good gamer fic that's got, I mean, there's power creep issues there, but he does a really good job of not making it about the combat, but more making it about character interaction. I believe it's called like the Dark Game of Life, but spelled instead of DARK, it's spelled D apostrophe ARC. Dark Game of Life. Recommend that. He used to update like monthly with like a 30k chapter, but sometimes he takes a couple months to update. It's fairly decent. Like I said, a lot more heavily on character interaction because the author does recognize quite early that the gamer has power creep problems, and so he doesn't attempt to try and keep the story balanced with relative power levels of every enemy he faces around his power. He focuses on people who don't have the gamer power. He focuses on character interaction. He focuses on world building and all the stuff that isn't affected by gamer stats. But yeah, I don't know if I can say much more about those topics. Lone Wolf Saga, but the stats were the main focus, as in you pick your own stats. I've never heard of the Lone Wolf Saga.
You know, I think the best way to do a gamer fic for an established fandom, do what Wildbow did. Have a chart ready. Roll the dice. If it's of a certain, if it's like, all right, I need to do this enemy. Roll the dice. Okay, well this enemy is going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
Your arc is like 2 paragraphs. Sorry.
That is one thing I did like about Wildbow, in that he was fully willing to have his characters die. If that, by the roll of dice. Because he realized that everyone's power could kill everyone else. And so, yeah, it kind of was a metaphorical roll of the dice that he made very literal to see who won. It's a game on Steam. Lone Wolf has a series of 29 game books. Initially illustrated books are 1 through 8. Published in 1984. God damn. Last Cast of Warrior Monks. Ceased publication, went out of print in 98. Converted a majority of the books to HTML. It's a game. That's interesting.
What's interesting?
It's an interesting series. It's 32 books in total. That's kind of impressive. It's kind of impressive. Let's see what we got here. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Do you know Toho Project, Max?
Passingly familiar with it. That's the Bullet Hell series, I believe.
Yep. Here's a Mass Effect Toho Project crossover.
Well, I don't have enough info on it to talk about the Toho part, but okay.
Neither do I. I just queued it up because it looked fucking dumb.
The Boundary Effect. Honestly, being a big BlazBlue fan, that title would make me think this is a BlazBlue crossover far quicker than thinking, oh, this must be a Toho crossover.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, this is actually a complaint I have with a majority of, with a majority of Mass Effect game stories and crossovers is for some reason like all the writers believe like they have to include the word effect in their title, and like sometimes it's funny and it is self-depreciating, like masked up. It's pretty funny.
God, this is hilarious. Watching the stream health on YouTube, 0.5 messages per minute. I feel like that's lying.
It probably is. Yeah, sure, Devil Spidey, link the game. Yeah, like I see so many stories that it's like Left 4 Dead crossover, infection effect, Halo crossover, Halo effect, BioShock crossover, BioShock effect. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, people, come up with a goddamn original name.
You know, honestly, hearing that makes me feel a little bit better about younger me's choice to name the infamous Halo crossover Sparkling on Reach.
Don't worry,
Jesus.
I can see the link just fine. Huh. $14. I'll look at it later. Mostly positive reviews. Okay. The top reviews are all positive, so it looks like a bad iOS game port. It doesn't sound too hot. Oh, yeah, I see what they're talking about in there. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I wanted to complain about the name. This is in the just fucking stupid category, so it's not like we're actually really talking about the story itself. Mostly the cliches and the dumb stuff that they did that we can comment on. Like I said, the title is dumb. I find it incredibly unoriginal. But anyway, here's a summary. 2137. When an Alliance exploration ship is fired upon by a Turian cruiser, it shall unleash them upon the galaxy. And the galaxy is not ready for their power, their abilities, or their lack of common sense. Human, Yokai, Lunarian Alliance, Mass Effect, Toho crossover AU. Too many characters to write. This is the part where I got triggered by, and this is why I added to just fucking stupid. Wasn't Toho an anime at one point? I think it was an anime. I think it was a visual novel, though. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Toho Project at all. I was just triggered by the fact that they included in their summary too many characters to write. Which is a problem for me. It's like, if it's too many characters for you to fucking write, then don't fucking write it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you as an author don't think you can write it because it has too many characters for you to manage, then don't write it. You're going to degrade the story by not paying attention to all the characters properly. And then in the end, you're making everything worse. Gluten is a protein, so would have amino acids. Oh, good. So this person doesn't know about biology, apparently, according to this review. They didn't know gluten's a protein. They didn't know amino acid would be an issue. They didn't know about fats being an issue. I am not a passing expert of Mass Effect lore, but I'm pretty sure Turians are not a carbon-based life form. I mean, aren't we carbon-based? Yeah. Yeah, because we get petrified. Yeah, because yeah, we were carbon-based. We leave behind carbon when we die. You know, we're carbon-based, right, Max? Max?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Are human carbon-based? I'm pretty sure we are. Yes. Good old carbon.
Yep. So yeah, Turians are in fact carbon-based. Why is everyone female? Because Toho Project. Neon Genesis Evolution. Okay, so we got a review here. It's decent in its breakdown. Thus far, I've gone along. It's a well-written stomp fic with few changes that I can live with, as in Lunarnian decided to actually cooperate and ally with the Earth Dwellers. Medical advances quickly enough that we can have human protagonists, particularly Remu, running around without needing to have turned into yokai, etc. But the idea that one of Deathless's comrades in arms was literally exploded right in front of them simply for running his mouth and did not descend into violence breaks my suspension of disbelief. Not one of his troops responded to a blatant lethal violation of a peaceful meeting. Not even a weapon was drawn if we go purely by the narration. Even just a token sentence where they had drawn weapons. God. So basically, someone apparently dies during a peaceful meeting because he was mouthing off to a yokai, and everyone's just like, yup, this is okay. Fucking Christ. Oh. So yeah, like I said, this wasn't a story I was actually genuinely going to, read out loud and critique and whatnot, because I have no fucking idea about the Toho Project. Yeah, that was another thing I was going to talk about, Isley. Thank you for bringing that up. Toho is called Bullet Hell for a reason. They literally shoot, like, fucking thousands upon thousands of bullets and shit made of pure energy for fun. Alright, see you, Devil Spidey.
Oh, bye, Spidey. No, the Toho Project was not an anime. Any episodes you see are actually fan-produced.
Oh.
And those fans are stupidly proficient. I've watched some of the OVAs. The
May
voice
your
acting
fears
and
come
animation
true
are
in the next
amazing.
fic. Yes, yes, Devil Spidey. Yes. Fucking piece of shit. Alright. Well, so yeah. Now I'm gonna finish it up today then with talking about the Toho universe and power levels, because it's apparently a thing that also needs to be talked about. Toho universe, from what I do remember, is very OP, and everyone beats everyone else in these bullet hell games by being more OP. Fucking laser beams of world-ending destruction, from what I remember about Toho, get thrown around like candy near the end. And, like, some of the yokai are like, I am the yokai of the border world. I literally can cut holes into any dimension I want, and am basically capable of slaying gods. Like, that's not standard, but there are people on that person's level enough for them to be like, yeah, I'm not going to try and take over the world.
Yeah. For the most part, they seem fairly content to just chill and watch things occur.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things that I always had a problem with. I've seen, Skyrim crosses over with Mass Effect, and it's like, 400,000 years after the events of Skyrim, the immortal Dragonborn and his/her wife Serana became the emperors of Tamriel and united the continents, and they took to space with their Magitech empire and used magic portals to FTL and shoot fireballs from their giant magi cannons and
Magi cannons.
yeah.
Really?
They basically, like, I've seen stories that just basically slap the word magi in front of every sort of technological development to denote the fact that it runs off of magic instead of something else. But like I said, my main problem with those sorts of stories, my main problem with any sort of story that uses magic, is more often than not, is that those stories do not quantify magic. Dark Souls thoroughly quantifies magic. Well, not thoroughly, but decently thoroughly.
Yeah.
Enough to the point where, like, there is an actual system you can see in the background, like dictating power levels and shit of things. But you know, Negima, Fairy Tale, Naruto, sort of. Naruto's a 50-50 in that it's like, oh, the more power you put into shit, the bigger the shit becomes. So you can quantify it in that sort of arena. And, you know, people have a definite, you know, maximum level of abilities they can use. Like, fucking Sasuke could only use the Chidori twice as, you know, a preteen and stuff like that. Like, they very clearly, you know, quantized it. But at the same time, they also broke their own rules quite often. But the problem is, even those magic fictions, they don't quantize it. It's like, oh, it's magic. It does magic stuff because fuck you. And if, you know, putting it up against any other universe, especially another universe with magic, just makes it exponentially more difficult to write the story. Because, well, I mean, it should be obvious. You know, I've seen a lot of people just completely stop writing stories because they tried to bring, I don't know, Natsu into the Naruto world. And they were like, okay, well, Natsu, how does he stack up against other people? Oh, he loses. But through the power of friendship, he doesn't. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's basically there's massive problems when it comes to comparing two worlds that do not operate on defined quantities, which is why, you know, Halo and Mass Effect and Warhammer and, you know, those various technological sci-fi stories work fairly well when crossed over if the author pays attention to all the data. Because everything's pretty much quantified. The ship size is quantified, how they work is quantified, the weapons they shoot are quantified, the damage they do is quantified. Like, everything is very clear-cut in how it works, and the damage it does, the damage it can take, etc., how fast it moves. With Magic, it's pretty much author hand-waving 99% of the time.
God, this is terrifying.
Anything you want to add, Max?
No, I've just been letting you rant in the background while looking at some stuff. Toho Project continues to this day on PS4. But they're purely fan games now. The fan base is so crazy and so in love with this, they have continued the series on their own and started making and publishing their own games and getting enough support to have them localized over here.
That is fairly impressive.
Like, holy shit.
Now, I will say, that is something that I was fairly impressed by, is all the Toho stories that I've seen crossed over, like the ones that were, like, interested me enough to read even though I didn't know nothing about Toho, did a fairly good job of explaining Toho, and a fairly good job of explaining why the crossover is occurring. Had great characterization in terms of everyone was their own unique character. I don't know if they were in character, but everyone certainly had their own flair that made them their own person and not just a puppet that the author moves around for plot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I will give kudos to the community for producing quality works that even I could understand as someone who has no fucking idea about Toho.
Yeah. I mean, what I've seen of the universe, it actually seems fairly entertaining, but not entertaining enough to put myself through the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's one of those series for me. It's where it's like I'll just wiki dive and see
Yeah,
what
no,
I can piece together.
I'm massive garbage at bullet hell games, so it's just like I'll observe from a distance. I'll enjoy it from a distance.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for today. Thank you everyone for joining us and staying till this point, or skipping ahead to this point, or whatever you did on our video or our live stream. As always, if you want to watch more, you can go to our YouTube page, which is linked down below in the panels if you're on Twitch. And you can visit our playlist on YouTube, which contains every single one of these podcasts, I guess you could call it. Which we are now at currently number 59. Amazing.
Which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's actually fairly impressive. A sign of a good story that you can enjoy it not knowing the universe. Accolade of Zero is a good example. Yes, Accolade of Zero is a great example of that. You just need to have passing knowledge of what Warcraft 3 is, and you're pretty much set to go.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm going to have to shoot Twitch, because it logged me out of my account. Thanks, Twitch. You fucking whore.
As I was saying, thanks for joining us. If you want to catch us live, once again, we are on every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to pop in and join us. Give us recommendations. Post in the Twitch chat or YouTube chat, as we are live streaming onto both platforms. So, pick your poison. At some point in time, eventually, we will be releasing Anime Contempt Theater 9001, in which the three of us sit down, put on masks and face cams, and make fun of really weird anime.
Yeah, the first one's quite the doozy.
If you want to catch me playing games, I have no idea when I do that. I do that sometimes, though. It's gonna just be more of me raging, flipping out, and generally sucking shit at whatever game I'm playing.
Well, that's your fault for.
Before I
doing
forget,
such
what's
odd
my
challenges.
Twitch chat? You can find my Twitch at TrueSneakyDevil. Twitch.tv/TrueSneakyDevil. You can find us on YouTube at YouTube, whatever the fucking bullshit long string of characters they've given us, which is why I've linked it on Twitch.
Yeah,
but we are known
one
as
day-
Two Idiots and Southerner on YouTube, misspelled. We used to have games on there, but then we just did this.
Yeah, wait, it was switch over to this. This is easier to manage because I don't have to sit there and edit a bunch of schlock.
Indeed.
And then have to wait for you and Atin to
No problem, Isley.
record some non-existent footage. Still
Yeah.
my favorite. We tried recording for the channel. What happened? Everything broke.
Everything was at 2 FPS. Yeah, we actually had a full Dark Souls 3 run that just recorded at 2 FPS, even though the recording program was telling us it was recording at 60.
Yeah, you can quite clearly see at what point I personally said fuck it and just stopped putting together gameplay footage for the channel. Dead Effect will probably remain.
I mean, we'll
completely
probably do live
untouched.
streams of Dead Effect or some point.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it won't be for the story. Like, anything we do will be in
Well,
multiplayer and whatnot.
Yeah.
I pretty much said fuck it. I've dropped the Nier Automata playthrough for the sake of the channel, and I'm just gonna switch over to a brand new game.
Yeah,
Just play it blind on my own.
indeed.
Such a shame.
Yeah,
I
if you feel
enjoyed
like
it too.
if you've reached this point and you feel like supporting us, you can head over to the True Southerner, Two Idiots and Southerner Patreon page or my Patreon page and donate to us there.
I don't
Or you
think
could
we set up the Patreon page.
oh, you didn't?
Suthner.
I told you you should have. Or you can
I
subscribe
don't
to me
remember.
here on Twitch. I don't have anything yet because I don't know if you can even subscribe to me yet. Just follow me for now, I guess. Eventually, I'll reach that affiliate program someday, and then partnership will be within my grasp. You know, someday.
I mean that would be nice.
That would be nice,
because
yeah.
then me and Atin can just piggyback off of you.
Yeah, just pull a cyanide. I'll be the cyanide to my Womble.
I'm unabashedly fine with that.
I'm only here to complain about something.
Oh?
EG picked Phantom Lancer into Earthshaker.
And Sven.
Yes. Yes, they did. I'm watching this.
God.
Hey,
Good.
you know what? I wonder if they would be annoyed if you were to just start streaming their stream with your mask cam overlaid over it as you just commentate.
Become a broadcaster. Yeah, I could do that, but no one would watch me. And honestly, I feel like just sitting back and watching it at this point.
Oh, no, I'm sure people would watch you. It's when they start getting Slack's attention and pointing him at you that it'll get interesting.
Jesus Christ. You know what? You know what we should do? We should try and see if Sir Action Slacks himself would like to sit down and read some fan fiction with us.
Gonna bring him in on some Dota stuff? Because if so, you'll have to dig somewhere outside of fan fiction.
Bring him on in for some Action Slacks fan fiction, of course.
Of course.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. Sorry you stayed this long and have suffered this amount of brain damage. So we shall bid you adieu. Avita
Penises, bleed blue.
Go EG. Watch the TI. Woo.
We're shills.
Peace.
We don't get paid, but we're